What's up, everybody? It's Chad for another episode of Ask Chad Grassy Logic. Today, I'm here with my buddy Keifer from Happy Panda here in Las Cruces. We're here with another episode, got new topics, but first and foremost, we want to introduce our guests and have them give the chance to, tell us who they are. So go ahead, Keifer, tell the people about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Keifer Payne. I'm a good old local down here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Started the Happy Panda journey about 2 years ago and started the LLCs and things like that. Procured a building and did all the constructions and kind of got it up and running. So we're here now to kind of represent a new brand that's hopefully going to be different from a lot of the cannabis industries there. So just really excited to show what I have to offer and what Happy Panda has to offer for sure.
Nice, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, you guys, really bring something unique. Especially like the products that you offer and the ideas that you bring, to the table. That it's something that you don't see in the industry. And I try to tell people that to make it, you're going to have to find something separate, away from everybody else. You can't be like Colorado. You can't be like California. This is New Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's great that you guys are thinking outside the box with that. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so thank you again for joining me. And so let's talk more about Happy Panda. So can you give us some background about Happy Panda? Like how to start, where the idea come from? I really love the name.
Yeah, I mean, starting this whole cannabis industry, it's I wanted to be different. And that was the main thing. So how can I be different from what the industry is doing? And right now the industry is throwing out a lot of the cannabis. So what I was trying to do is, how do we change the stigma of cannabis? How do we change that the original thoughts from when it was illegal to legal? Growing up, it was the DARE program saying weed is bad, cannabis is bad, this weed leaf, no. So we're already, grown into that stigma of this cannabis plant is a negative thing. So I'm trying to stray away from that negative plant, that cannabis plant, as that symbolicism.
Yeah.
I wanted to create something that was reflective of what the cannabis plant really is, and that was something that I kind of brainstormed a lot. I almost spent a month just trying to figure out the name. Created Happy Panda. That was one of the things that I wanted. Also, a symbolic meaning or a symbolic business kind of thing like that. So when I looked into it, I was like, what represents what I'm trying to give out to the community? And one was going to be the pandas. So pandas alone, it's very nurturing. They're very stable. They take care of people. It's a kindness. They're neutral. And that's one of the things I wanted to do is be that representation instead of the negative connotations of cannabis is bad and it's on the streets and it's bad for you. So making that shift and creating that Happy Panda brand really was the main goal, and also to focus on happiness, because during these times we have the recessions, we have World War III coming on in the world, we got economic times, it's very difficult time. So coincidentally, being able to create the brand was focusing on happiness and during these tough times. So come in and enjoy the cannabis, enjoy happiness, focus on centric position. So
nice.
That was the goal, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I love the logo. Like the Happy Panda logo. It's really cool.
Yeah, I got the little eyes in there.
even the store itself, you're just like, okay, I feel like a panda would like this.
Yeah, right. We got a lot of bamboo everywhere, so
yeah, exactly. We got some bamboo to show you guys, and be here in a little bit, and you guys get a little surprise. So how long has Happy Panda been operating?
So we started the LLC in 2021. And then we started, we got the building in about March of 2022.
Okay.
We did full years of renovations, making sure that everything was done. The building is at the corner of Don Roser in Missouri.
Okay.
So it used to be that old washer and dryer place. It used to be a karate dojo. And now we completely renovated the area to where it's a nice location. And now we finished that around January and 2023, and then we started opening on the end of February.
Okay. So been operating for a couple months now.
Yep. So we're on our 6th month right now. So we're still in infancy, but also still growing.
Oh yeah, the whole industry, is still growing and everything. It's still pretty much getting set up.
Yeah.
And that whole thing. So it's really exciting to see more people get into the industry. And people like yourself, especially the locals, the locals really getting a chance, because that's one thing that I was hoping for is more locals getting, into it versus like an MSO.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's really great to see. And cool. And so do you guys carry your own product that you grow, or do you carry other farms?
Yeah, we definitely outsource for farms and things like that. What we're trying to do is get the customer feedback. So what we need to know is out of all the products here in New Mexico, what's working, what's not. And there's so many products out there that the only way to find out is to bring it on, get the feedback, and then figure out if it's worthy of staying or it needs to move on. And that's what we're going to try to start focusing on is getting that feedback, so that way we can curate our store to our customers' demands.
Nice. Yeah, so it's not what you want; it's what the customer.
It's what
wants.
the customer wants. Exactly.
As Joe Dirt's friend said.
Exactly.
Right, says Joe Dirt told his friend.
Smart man.
Very smart. So do you guys offer any discounts or anything, maybe industry or military or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we have militaries, you have your veteran discounts, or 10s and 15s, and then we also have daily discounts. So we kind of have like a secret word Monday through Wednesdays. So if you follow it in your social medias of Facebook and Instagram, if you check our stories, a lot of the times they're going to have that secret word on there with a little fun fact about pandas. So if you're able to let us know about that secret word on those days, we're able to get you a good discount on 10% off. We also do happy hour on Monday through Wednesdays. We have from 4:20 to 7:10. It's going to be that 15% off the store. On Thursdays, infused pre-rolls, so that way we make sure that we got those infusions in there.
Yeah.
Friday, flour Fridays, make sure that we got the 10% off flour. You can get the biggest bang for the buck. Saturdays are going to be your concentrate days. So a lot of times during the weekend, we want to relax. So we're going to take advantage of the concentrates there. That way you can really take a dab to relax for the weekend. And then Sundays are going to be our vapes and our edibles. We're going to be on 10%. So every day of the week, you're essentially going to be able to take advantage of a discount to where it's beneficial to your needs.
Nice.
To our Cubs needs.
That's great. That's great to hear, because some places are finally catching on to do like an industry discount, or even, things like that.
That too. So it's funny that you mentioned that. We actually introduced that in the industry discount most recently today, because I was very hesitant with this industry where we have 60 dispensaries down here in Las Cruces just alone, and let's just say there's 5 employees. We're getting a lot of people. So.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to give back to that industry, that we're all in this together, and that we all need to support each other, and we're all going through the same hard times or the same good times. So, like you said, giving back to them.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
And it's a rough time right now, and it is for everybody. Even really Colorado is having a rough time.
Yeah,
those poor dudes.
Yeah.
And we'll explain more on that later. But yeah, like you said, it's a rough time. It's great that you're trying to work with other people, because we are in this together. We are trying to make New Mexico's experiment work, because we took a different approach, and I've said that many times, we have, and it's a great approach. A lot of people gave us kudos, like, you guys did it kind of right.
We definitely learned from the mistakes of, California and Colorado. So it was a good, experimental time, but it sounds like we're doing it the right way. So really
and of course there's there's room to change and room to improve, like anything else, but I think we're starting off on a good foot.
Absolutely.
So can people order online? Can they order a product online? Is it updated pretty well?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's integrated right with our systems. Whatever we have, it's going to be exactly what's online. We do have that myhappypanda.com, so check us out, and that's where you can kind of check us out. We actually have like our blog sections. We have a little bit of a get to know us for all of the cannabis guides that we have on staff and everything. So keep in touch with that too, so we can kind of get the news out of what we're doing, and then some educational content for sure.
Nice. And speaking of staff, how big is your staff right now?
So not including myself, we only have about 5 employees. So it's a really small mom and pop shop for us, and then it's very intimate, and we got an amazing staff, and all of them have specialist roles and things like that. So they're
nice.
They're really helping out the growth of Happy Panda. So I'm very, very fortunate for them.
Nice. Yeah. You always got to give it up to the employees and everything. They make everything work.
Absolutely. Without them, I wouldn't be here. So
just like in the Army, the people who do that are the NCOs, or enlisted. The backbone of the military.
Yeah.
And so that's that's one thing that they try to remind you. So it's great. Yeah. So shout out to them and everything. How many shops do you actually have currently? Just one? Or?
Yep. It's just that one. Just 5 of us. So that's going to be our main location, and we'll be there hopefully for the long run.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully, and maybe one day you guys can expand and everything like that. So it looks like we have the website actually up right here.
Oh, nice.
And now we can give a little walk around so people can check it out. Is there anything you want to show off right here?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So the top is going to be pretty much our hours of operation. So Monday through Saturday, you got from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You have the 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays. If you kind of go to the Panda cupboard, it kind of goes over each individual's kind of a little bios of who we are, what we do, kind of things, a little bit about us. And then if you kind of like scroll over our pictures, it kind of instigates like fun. So it's kind of nice, and that's what we're trying to bring the experience of what the shop is into just these photos, and that's what it is. It's the energy you're going to see here on the website is literally should be and will be that energy that when you walk into that store.
That's cool. That's pretty. It's a little more personal too. You know, you're used to seeing like just these professional photos, but you never get to see the fun side.
Yeah,
you know, it's everyone just wants to see this professional. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's a time and a place for everything, but there's always a place for a little fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't have to go overboard. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, of course, you know, like any cannabis website, are you 21 and over?
And these are going to be our Panda Talks, which is essentially going to be our blog location. Cool. So we're going to start posting some blogs. I think 1 or 2 a month to kind of let you kind of get the insider news of what's going on. I believe one of them should be here on our Panda Stash Box, which we're going to touch base here in the near future.
Yeah, here in a few minutes.
Yeah. And we also have the Shop Happy. So once you're ready to shop, you can just go ahead and hit Shop Happy. Go ahead and explore the good old locations and all the products that we have to offer. And then, we'll take care of you.
I was on the website earlier, and I noticed you have a recreational side and a medical side for the pricing. So that's really cool. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, medical, you want to make sure that they're taken care of first as their medical needs. It's not necessarily going to be something that you just go into and enjoy a party on the recreational side. So there is going to be definitely different pricings for those patients and our recreational cubs.
And are these prices out the door, or is this
prices out the door? So all the taxes are going to be included, because that's one of the things that, you know, in this industry, you don't want to by a blindsider, like I'm going to pay, you know, $10 for a gram, and then you walk out, it's $15 a gram. You're like, whoa, what was going on? I want that transparency. I want to make sure that what you see is what you're going to get, and there's no surprises. So.
And I feel like that's how it should be anyway. Like when you go to the store, you have to guess.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this costs $100, and is it 8% or is it 9% now? Like, did they just change it? You know?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's a big crapshoot. So no, I get it. And I'm glad that certain places are doing that. You know, you guys are following suit with some, but other places haven't really caught on to that yet. You know, the out the door prices really does help, you know, in the price point and, you know, getting the sell in the end. So, you know, I appreciate that too, even as a consumer.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, going over there like, oh, this is $10 out the door? By all means.
Done. I got 10 right here. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Take
exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. And what's your favorite product that you guys carry? Is it a cultivar? Is it an extract? You know, what do you have that you can suggest that you love the most?
Oh, man. With the amount of work that I've personally been doing so much, it seems like my cannabis use has dropped significantly. But I do like to focus on our concentrates. And at the end of the day, I take, you know, a dab just to kind of relax at the end of the day and go right into the bed. So Cali Dream, Live Batter, some of the Farmers Quality stuff that they have. Also big munchie guys. So like, I just like food. If it tastes good and it's healthy, it's helping me medicate, it's a win-win. So we have these pop pretzels that we recently brought on, which were freaking phenomenal. Cool. There's like a sweet and savory, and there's like a spicy form. So those are one of the ones that's like, dang, at the end of the day, let me just have some pretzels and enjoy the rest of the night. So they're awesome.
Nice. And I'm really glad that I'm seeing more innovation go into like the edibles and stuff here. And of course, the chile is, you know, incorporated on every step I've seen almost, you know, the whole way. You know, the peach rings will be covered in tajin. And, you know, you'll have, you know, peanut brittle, but it's red chile.
A little extra. How can you be different? And that's what I'm starting to see is a lot of these wholesalers and manufacturers. They're making their mark on the industry, which is awesome.
No, and I really dig that, and I really respect that. You know, like I keep saying, legalization brings on innovation. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what are you waiting for?
There's so much opportunity out there, and I'm excited just to see it all happening. So.
Yeah, me too. And do you guys have any events or anything planned for the future? Or?
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, on Saturday, so the 8th, we're gonna have a clear. One of our vendors are gonna stop by from 2 to 6 and kind of give out some free pens and things like that. We're gonna have cool big discounts on our clear products. And then also 710, which a lot of the cannabis industry should know is like upside down, it spells oil. So it's going to be kind of like the reverse or a similar sister holiday to 420, more focused on those concentrates, on vapes and things like that. So on that 710, we're actually having a huge festival, or I guess events going on. So we're going to be bringing in stacked cookies, which is phenomenal homemade cookies here that are they're stacked, freaking delicious. You have to check them out. From 2 to 4, we're going to have Wild, one of our gummy vendors out there from 4 to 5:30. We're going to have Kona Ice out there because it's freaking hot and everyone's melting. So we're going to provide some free Kona Ice out there for everyone.
Some shave ice.
And then also just the medical cards. I think that was something that we wanted to make sure that people are on key with, because people are I'm starting to see like their expiration dates are hitting on their medical cards and things, and they're like, oh well, it's recreational, I can get it anyways. Well, no, it's not the case. So we want to make sure you still have your medical card, get your medical pricings, and you're getting those units that you should be allowed to get. So we're gonna have a provider there from 10 to 2. Let me make sure. 10 to 2. So as long as you need a renewal for $35, and then there's new cards that we can do for $50.
And keep in mind that, you don't pay taxes, and a lot of times you do get different pricing with the medical cannabis card. And some events you get it for free or cheaper.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that medical cannabis card is actually really good to have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely recommend just even if you're not diagnosed or anything like that, just to see if you possibly be eligible for it. Because the worst comes to worst, they're going to say no, and you're back in the same spot. But if it's truly giving those medical benefits, then please take advantage of that stuff. So
it's there for a reason. There's a reason why we fought for it for so long.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's keep it alive and everything. That's great. Is there anything else, or any other events?
As event wise, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a bunch of different deals going on for that 710. So farmers quality, a lot of those concentrates gonna be 25% off. Infused J's, vapes, wax, all wax. We're gonna have unicorn rigs, which are like the electric dab rigs, instead of having to use a sketchy torch and hitting up a nail to take your medicine. It's more, hey, just click a button and then you're able to consume responsibly and more effectively.
Press and go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we're gonna actually have something I'm pretty excited for. Actually, we've been working on for probably about 2-3 months.
Okay.
This is gonna be our stash box. So this is something that I don't think I've seen in the market yet. It's out there, but it's not necessarily branded or really pushed. And I think this is something that's going to be different from everyone. Is we're creating a safe and responsible way to consume and store your cannabis all in one location. So go ahead and get a stash box, and what you're able to do is now kind of use this guy to store your cannabis products. So we have all these little jars in there, so you can kind of create or store your products nice and safely. It's going to be coated away from kids or even roommates. Yeah. So a bunch of those little guys. We have like the grinders, that way you can kind of grind your product. You can make your pre-rolls. We have this little couple containers. We have your pre-rolls, grinders, and things like that. So this is something that I'm really excited for, because one, we want to make sure that it's keeping out of the hands of the kids. We don't want to practice safe, responsible use. We want to lead the industry and doing it the right way.
Nice.
So this is something that it means a lot to me myself. And then we're also including a Panda report card. So one of these things that I really like about this is that in order to curate the store for everyone, we want to make sure that we're getting the feedback of what's working and what's not. Because there's so many products out there that they're doing well or they're not doing well. How do we know? Well, this is the way to do it. So once you get this Panda box is going to come with the Panda report. You're going to try out 3 different items, put those items down, see how it made you feel, good, the negatives, the pros. And then you're able to bring this back into the cannabis at Happy Panda, and then get an additional 10% off your purchases. So the more feedback that we get, we're able to curate the store towards our customers' needs. And then it's also beneficial for the patient, because now they're tracking what's working and what's not. That way I don't get something that gave me an allergic reaction, or continuously get the wrong product. So this is something that I was very excited for, and we're going to be releasing this on the 710 for our event.
Nice. And can you tell me what the QR code right there is for?
Yeah, absolutely. So it also comes with that QR code for sure. Once you go ahead and scan that guy, it's going to take us to that website. And that way, whenever you're out of a product, you're ready to reorder right then and there. So let's just say you were smoking our last J here, and you're like, oh, I just ran out. Well, let's just go ahead and reorder. Give us the scan, send it in, and then we'll catch you next time with our Panda report and get you 10% off of that order.
Nice.
That way it makes it nice and easy and convenient. Everything's locked up in one, and it is going to be a customizable code too. So once ever we release it to you, you can make your own code, and it's more personalized, and definitely has our slogan is going to be "Stay Happy." So it's one of the things that it's also branded into. So.
Nice. I really like that.
Excited.
Yeah, and it looks like it's numbered, so it looks like you have 300 of these, right?
Yep. So it's going to be a little bit more of a a limited amount. So we want to make sure that there's high value in these things, because it's hard to necessarily produce these in this industry. So we wanted to make sure that we're releasing these in small amounts. So we're going to come up with the 30s and the next 30. So they'll possibly be changing from each section. So the first 30s possibly they're going to be looking like this, and then the next 30 we're going to hopefully get some feedback from our customers and say, hey, I would like the stash box to do A, B, and C, or I'd like to look like this. So we'll take in that feedback and create the next versions and the next versions, and then by the end of the 300s, you know, the first 300s are the lucky ones that they're gonna have something pretty special.
Nice.
And close to my heart. That's you're gonna be able to keep for life, hopefully.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. And I really like the rolling tray aspect on here that comes off. And could you share with everybody how much this is going to be?
Ooh, it's going to be released on 7/10.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be introduced in there too. That's going to be included. So we're going to try to get 3 grams of flour in there, along with a lot of these nifty gifties. So we're going to be keeping that suspense for you guys. So come check us out. And
nice. Awesome. Well, I really like that box, man. And, that's a really great idea. Keeping away from kids is, near and dear to my heart too. And that's something that, I feel in the industry, we do have some responsibility to do. And I feel like you guys are stepping up on that and saying that, well, we're going to offer you, a solution to this problem.
Absolutely.
And some people probably don't know where to start, for the people like, well, I don't even know how to store my cannabis. What do you mean? This is literally for that person,
absolutely.
It's an all-in-one for them. They have everything they need right there. And it's to ensure that, kids or people that don't, can't or shouldn't be using cannabis aren't going to hold it. So
exactly. Safe space for everything. And also it's like, us cannabis consumers, we have lighters there, pipes there, cannabis there, grinder there. And we're like, oh, I got to go find everything, put it together. Well, if you have a central location, you're not going to lose anything. And it keeps everything organized. So make sure that we have some good structure in your cannabis consumptions.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate showing us that and
absolutely.
everything, man. I can't wait to see, what more comes from it. And go and check them out on 710, y'all, and go get you this cool box.
Heck yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So before we move on, can you tell people what you guys' hours of operation is? I know you said it a couple times for the show, but for at the very end, your location, operating hours.
Yep. So from Monday through Saturday, we're going to be open from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. And then from on Sundays, we're going to be open from 10 to 6. We can kind of let our cupboard team out to enjoy their families on Sundays. So
nice. Yeah, that's good. That's nice of you guys to do.
Yeah.
Family's important.
Exactly. We want to take care of our cubs and our cupboards. So our cubs are referred to our customers, and kind of one of the scientific definitions of a cub is a customer. So in the weirdest of ways, that brand really, really resonates and matches with just with what we're trying to accomplish.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I really like it. You guys already have looks like you have a little system going on and everything with a little life of everything inside of the business. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what we want to bring to the table for sure.
Cool, man.
Well, experience.
Well, thank you for being here, and we're just going to move on. But that's great. It's great what you guys are bringing, and I can't wait to see what else comes.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, heck yeah. So we're going to move on, guys. We're going to talk about some other topics we have here in New Mexico and, of course, around the nation. And that's going to be at the end. Of course, we're going to be talking about that lawsuit. Y'all got to wait. So first, we're going to talk about the RLD, and this was going to be quick. This RLD CCD. They are looking to fill some positions. If you guys are looking to work for the cannabis industry, but you don't really want to go the ownership route, you can work for the state, and you can work for RLD and all that. And they have different positions. Right now, it looks like they're doing a rapid fire event in Santa Fe. It's going to be held July 13th on a Thursday, and it's going to be at the Tony Anaya building, 2550 Cerrillos Road in Santa Fe. It says the doors are going to open at noon. And it's going to stay open until about 6 p.m. So you have quite a bit of time to go over there, check things out, and be ready to possibly do an in-person interview that day. Dress to impress, shave, shower, all the good stuff, going smelling good. And try not to look like you just smoked weed. They're pretty lenient when it comes to cannabis and everything at the RLD, the CCD, and all that. They'll have cannabis lanyards and stuff like that, cannabis socks or something.
Yeah.
So. Just be ready, have multiple copies of your resume, and just be ready to, be professional. I mean, what some advice you could give to people that are probably going to be doing
you're giving it your all, your best foot forward. I think one of the best things that you could possibly do is look into the CCD regulations of everything, and look into the role that you're trying to apply for. Come with that knowledge. That way, they feel more confident and choosing you as an applicant instead of I don't know what I'm doing. I hope to be taught. Come with, hey, I read these regulations. I'm ready to help you enforce these kind of things. So
nice. That's actually really good advice.
Yeah.
So, that's someone might get a job because of that.
Exactly. I think that's the best advice I could give someone.
It's nice. And, we need good people at at CCD RLD, because the better people we have regulating our cannabis, the better industry's going to be.
Absolutely. You don't want to make a bad name for the industry, and the regulations sometimes can be very, very strict, but they're in there for their good reasons to make sure that the responsible use of everyone is being followed. So.
And who knows? You could talk some sense into them when they're doing something dumb.
Yeah,
you know?
like get rid of that one. Get rid of that one.
Yeah, it's like no, don't do that. So if any of you are interested and you want to apply, go ahead and head there. I know it's in Santa Fe. All of us down here in Las Cruces, what are we going to be doing? Sorry, I know it's just how it is, but that's the main office that they're having these positions, not the remote offices that they have around the state. So that's all I have for that one. I just wanted to mention it just in case anybody was looking to, get a state job and they wanted to work for the Cannabis Control Division. If you are, there's all the information you need. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about sales numbers. I haven't talked about this in a few episodes, but I really wanted to because things are looking like they're kind of shifting and slowing down a little bit. So as of June, we sold a total of $47.7 million in cannabis total, and that's with medical and recreational. Keep in mind, medical isn't taxed. About 15 million of that was medical. And so it looks like we're still, staying steady on a pretty high note. I think we reached the 50 million mark, a couple months ago, I believe. I think we did. And so it's kind of dipped a little, but I mean, where we are, I'm fine with that. Those are really good numbers for sales. So another thing I wanted to mention is Sunland Park with 17,000 people, they're number 4 in the state in sales. Like that is ridiculous. And I've told people it's a little Dubai.
Oh yeah, it is. And you can see the growth over there, and it's kind of happened, from the Colorado aspects in their history, or California in their history. And it's the bordering states. It's those people that want that tourism, essentially. And if you're close to that tourism for those people, instead of having to drive 3, 4, 5 miles, back in the day, we'd drive 7 miles to go to Colorado just so we can, try out the cannabis, and that's legal. And, now it's here. Now Colorado's like, wait, where'd you all go?
Yeah. It's like, what happened?
Yeah. It's like,
where'd all the Texas plates go?
Yeah, exactly. So, someone's doing very well.
No, they are. And, to give you comparison, Alamogordo is probably about 60 miles northeast of Las Cruces. So it's a little bit further from the border. They have 30,000 people, and it's on the way to like Ruidoso, where a lot of Texans like to go. They're in 9th place. So, I mean, that's the big disparities. They have more people there. They have a good location, but they're just, Sunland Park is just in that sweet spot. The very first place you hit in New Mexico when you leave El Paso, it's at the very tip of New Mexico. Some parts of it is El Paso. And so it's just easier for them to just go there, pick their stuff, and go back. Sometimes it's a 10-minute thing for them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't blame them.
Off the work, just head off and do the routines kind of thing. So it's kind of exciting too, because it's kind of exposing a little bit of the Texas to what cannabis really is, and we're not supposed to be driving this back and forth through the border. Keep
that in mind.
It's this industry, and this is the realistics of it and things like that. So it's just nice to see, hopefully they're going to start saying, hey, this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing for, 1, the economy, 2, medical patients. And there's just the list goes on and on. So
it does. I mean, we could start listing everything all day. Yeah, definitely. But, that's the sales for, for last month. It's a month staggered. How are they going to know what July's numbers are if July hasn't fully gone through? So we won't know July's numbers till August, which is fine. And we'll see where things are. But as of right now, we're still at 1,006 retail establishments. Last month, I think we had 1,008. Then it went to 1,006, and it hasn't moved at all. So what that's telling me is we hit that plateau, or that little part where people probably aren't going to get as many licenses in. And we hit that plateau, and we're probably going to start hitting down. And so maybe next month we'll start seeing less numbers in retails. But right now, this looks like it's at a dead stop. And it looks like the bubble has taken its course, and it looks like some people are probably waiting for this, big roller coaster to happen before getting in again. But we'll see. It's kind of a crapshoot right now. What's going to happen? There's a lot of things brewing at the moment, and there's that could change things too. Federal legalization that's possible at the end of the year. If Texas gets smart next year and decides to go legal, that would change things significantly for us too. Quite a bit for a lot of people too. Actually, Oklahoma, that's a big player for them too as well. Oklahoma, they rely heavily on Texas. So like I said, the bubble and everything, the market will stabilize pretty much on its own. And it looks like that's where it's headed. With it just kind of going to a dead stop like that, we were going up like this for a while when it came to the retail.
Like a dispensary every day.
Just
2 per month or per day.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. Hey, check out my dispensary. I'm like, there's so many. And it is saturated. Don't get me wrong, but most markets in the nation have seen this trend. This isn't something just cater to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Colorado saw this, Oregon saw this, Washington saw this, California, I don't know, they're weird. California is its own animal, kind of like how New Mexico is too. But most states have seen this trend,
Yeah.
and then it balances out and it goes. So people are gonna lose and win, and that's the industry that we joined. What's kind of your thoughts on like this numbers of the 1,006 that we see now?
I mean, it's a lot. It's definitely a saturated market for sure. But the thing that I like about that is it's the opportunity for, the American dream. If you wanted to be able to do what you want to do, your dream to start a dispensary and make it happen, then the more power to you. And I think that's what the state's allowing us to do. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword where it's, they're not limiting the licenses. They're allowing everyone to do it. However, like you're saying, that bubble's going to pop, and a lot of these, hardworking individuals that are putting their life savings or they're putting all their work into it may not come out through that bubble. So it's a scary time, but also it's the land of opportunity, and I think that's one of the coolest things about it. So.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, only one person wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
in this case, there's not going to be one person, but not everybody can win, is what I'm saying.
Everyone's fighting.
Unfortunately,
for it, so
yeah, exactly. And
good.
It's capitalism. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see all this competition. That number, will it be that number next year? Probably not. Significantly not. But we are starting to see that change, because in New Mexico, I have noticed this. We're on a sped up timeline versus like Oregon, Colorado, and all the other states. Our timeline has been sped up so fast that the 5 or 4 year mark that Colorado had, to stabilize, we're reaching that within about 1.5 years, 2 years.
Man.
Yeah, and the price stabilization has happened within about less than a year here in New Mexico, when it took about 2 years almost in the other states to kind of stabilize. People get up, and I think a lot of that has to do with people coming into the market that already know what to do and what they're doing and what to expect. And I think that's one reason why. So things get in place, and so it moves faster.
That's a great point. Yeah. So there is a lot of, from industries from California and Colorado and Texas that all came down here, Oregon, they all came down here because they knew that, they had a saturated location and didn't work out for, or it did work out, and it worked out so well that they needed to copy it. So
move somewhere else and do it.
Exactly.
So soon we'll see less, y'all, and I know it's a sad thing, but that's the way business and capitalism works, especially in a new industry. Something so new like this, it's going to happen. So surprisingly, we actually have 15 consumption lounges in the state, and that was pretty surprising to me, because I haven't really seen too many more here in Cruces other than Seoul. And I kind of wish we had more, because we're the second largest city in the state.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it was pretty historical that we do have Seoul as being one of those first ones that were got the foot in the door and like, hey, we're doing it right now. And it's awesome to see that they took the lead of there. And so excited to see that.
Yeah, and it was great to see that the county and the city kind of worked with the cannabis establishments a little bit more. They didn't limit operating times. They're allowing more consumption. I really wish the outdoor consumption thing really changed from the county. To allow it, because I walk by a bar sometimes with the fence this high and the dude's smoking a cigarette, and I'm like,
there.
It's kind of like, okay, well, what is really the standard that we're going for here? So, but that's all I really had for the numbers. I just wanted to update everybody on what's going on, what the numbers look like. We're still selling a shit ton of weed, and it's mostly to the Texans, of course, but a lot of people in our state do use cannabis, and so we're seeing that happen a lot. And the cannabis in New Mexico is improving a lot. A lot of people have been saying it, and even myself and other people from other states are like, I came there and man, you guys, we got a lot better, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I think we have a really good climate here for sure. And just the 108 degrees that we're copying over Arizona right now. I hope the crops are doing okay. Let me tell you that. So we got a lot of outdoor grows out there. So just hoping that they're keeping them watered.
Yeah, me too. They have enough water right now for it. Yeah,
a lot of water.
Yeah, it is. So we're gonna move on, and we're actually gonna talk about Colorado right now. So it looks like Denver, Colorado is having a massive decline in sales, and not the whole state, just Denver itself, the city. And as you guys know, Denver is, a bunch of little cities put together, like Littleton and Aurora and all those other places. And so in like downtown Denver, of course, there's a lot, and they're like Albuquerque, where there's more cannabis retail establishments. There's like a Starbucks or a liquor store. So Albuquerque and Denver are kind of in the same boat at the moment. However, they're seeing a 22% decline in sales, which is like the largest decline in like the history of the cannabis industry, like kind of nationwide. It's huge. And, there's implications for that. We've kind of already talked about, some of the reasons that I think, and some of the reasons that some of these shop owners are giving too. There's really no study done yet, that
Mhm.
they've really said that, okay, this is the reason. But
Yeah.
what I've seen from the trend is once Arizona and New Mexico legalized cannabis, and even their neighbor, I think it was Montana, legalized recreational cannabis, it took a majority to a lot of their customer base.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of Texans were taking that drive to Colorado, not to Spring, sorry, they don't sell, Pueblo, or like Denver, and they were taking that drive and they were going all that way to get the cannabis from there.
Mhm. Big
Um,
tourism.
yeah,
Big
it
tourism.
was huge, and so the tourism just boom died. So I mean, that's telling you right now that 22% of their sales came from out of state mostly, and it was probably from Texas. And so those Texans, I mean, it's just smart. If someone tried to argue with me one time, like, well, I don't see why Texans would go to New Mexico. There's nothing there. And I'm like, if I was a Texan and I had to choose between driving an hour maybe or 4 hours versus 13, 15 hours,
It's
I
an
would probably
easy,
take an hour. I don't care where it's
yeah,
at.
it's a good, 12 hours of fuel that you can spend on cannabis.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
And it
That's,
could be a day trip versus like, a week or weekend trip,
yeah.
like you're just, and don't get me wrong again, guys, you shouldn't be taking it back across state lines, but it happens. And that's what people, that's what's happening.
Tourism.
Yeah. And that's just, that's the truth of it. So this is really kind of shocking to see. And, one of the shop owners said that his locations, all of them in Denver, are about 30% down
Ooh.
in sales, which is huge. That's huge. It says it's a steeper decline than his other 5 stores across the Front Range of the High Country. So meaning like cities like Fremont County, you have like Greeley up there, and then you also have other areas like Durango. That's a little smaller area
That was
too.
where I went.
Yeah, that's where my brother's at.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
love
my
it.
dad's from Colorado. That's how I know all these little areas.
Yeah.
And so like my dad's side, his family's from Fremont County, which is where Canyon City of Florence is, and they don't allow recreational cannabis sales there at all.
Really?
But Pueblo, about 15, 20 minutes to the east, they do.
Like, come
Yeah.
on.
And so I'm guessing that he probably has some shops there that are probably doing a little bit better, like in Pueblo and other areas. So that's really interesting because Denver, though, like why Denver? Like Pueblo's closer to those borders. Why Denver? That's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably try to. I mean, this is my assumptions of things. Of just one, the cost of living. You're in Denver. These tough times, people need to move out. I mean, people
Yeah.
are getting out of these big cities and they're going to more affordable housings and things like that. So I think that might be one of the things that might be a correlation, maybe not for causation, but something that I
Yeah.
kind of consider.
No, yeah, definitely. And one thing to keep in mind too is everybody in the nation that sells cannabis on a recreational side or medical side, you have to pay federal taxes still. You have to pay the illegal drug tax essentially, and it's really high. And so that's one benefit that'll happen if federal legalization does change, or decriminalization, excuse me. If we do get federal decriminalization, we'll get banking, and then we'll also be able to claim taxes. And so these people that are struggling like this, they'll have an easier time because now they'll be able to claim all these taxes and stuff and get a break and all that. Because one of the reasons he said is that they had a minimum wage bump and some regulation changes, and so that's been a little bit harder on them. And I get it, and I kind of feel if we had those that option for to claim taxes like any other business in this industry, we wouldn't really be having as many issues like this. It wouldn't be as bad. I think they would still have a huge decline, but I don't think it would be at a 22%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This industry in general is so overregulated where if you're not, putting all your I's dotted and T's crossed, it can just be one bill away from taxes or one thing away from flipping your business. So it's very, very scary times, but hopefully, like you're saying, if we're able to deregulate it a little bit and get us some benefits, that way we can actually be an established, industry. And I think that's something that we're hopefully looking forward to.
Yeah, me too. And I hope that changes. It's going to change a lot of things. Like I said, New Mexico's on that sped up timeline. It's going to speed it up even more.
Yeah,
it's going to make it even crazier.
Yeah.
So be ready for that.
Yeah.
And also, the reason why I bring up Colorado like this, and it has nothing to do with New Mexico, kind of, is the fact that this will happen here. Something like this exactly will happen here, and it's going to happen when Texas legalizes cannabis. Once Texas legalizes cannabis, we'll have another great closure, and we'll see another great thing like this happen, where shops will see a 22+% decrease in sales. And it may just start with one city like Albuquerque or something, or Roswell, somewhere random. It could just start in one area and then the trend, spreads.
Yeah.
So normally it starts in the bigger cities. That's kind of what I've seen, historically, is the bigger cities kind of see these start, and then it kind of bleeds into the rest of the state. Denver, however, is kind of different because they're more saturated than any city in the whole state. So that could be another reason why. So we'll see. Only time will tell. And we're starting to see a lot of implications of other states legalizing around the nation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I can already see like the growth of opportunity too.
Yeah.
You know, you're in New Mexico and you don't want to be on that downright of 22%.
Yeah.
Jump over there to Texas and see if I can get on that ball on that run thing. So that's going to be huge again, area of opportunity for things. So
and you're gonna see those people that just I call them fleas. They hop around state.
Go to Maryland next.
Yeah.
Go to there.
Yeah. Just hop, whoop, whoop, jump like a flea. Yeah, exactly. So, but that's all I had for that topic. I just wanted to bring it up to kind of let you guys know, kind of what's to come here in New Mexico eventually. Maybe a year, a couple years. I have no clue. But looking at other states, you can kind of get an idea what's going to happen in the future here. So yeah. But anyway, that's all I have for that. And let's move on to the final topic. And I know some of you may want to hear this, some may not. The Seed Junkies sue Cookies brand. So if some of you don't know, Cookies and Seed Junkies, they're actually a California brand. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Cookies has been rumored to be opening here in New Mexico at some point, I believe in Albuquerque. I heard another rumor that they might be looking at Sunland Park too, which is actually a smart move because of the high sales and high volume over there. So that could be another possibility. It's called Little Dubai for a reason. So Seed Junkies is suing Cookies because they were collaborating together at one point with a company called Mints. And Mints was supposed to provide growers with, great genetics, stable genetics, kind of work together, with the Cookies brand and their following to really get it out there and to, just really provide just quality genetics. However, I guess it didn't happen. Happened latent virus, was spread through everywhere. And if you guys don't know, or hot latent virus, excuse me, what it is, it's called the dud virus. That's a nickname. You can have a plant that grows great, it just dies, or when it's done, it just doesn't perform like it should have. And it's due to that virus. And it's really easy to spread. You can spread it with plucking a leaf off and a little bit of that getting on it, and you spread it. It's a virus. When you clone, so it happens. One of the only ways to really get rid of it is tissue culturing. Tissue culture through several generations most likely will take that virus out. And it also helps, with a clean the DNAs pretty much essentially, and, kind of give the plant a boost, and make it stronger. So people that deal with that, they'll spend thousands of dollars on tissue culture upon thousands, to get rid of that. Cause some of these cultivars, they're very valuable, and they're very rare. So if you get the, HLV, or the dud virus, it's detrimental to your whole grow. Some people have to literally kill their whole grow. So I can understand how someone could be upset, trying to trust someone with the clone, getting it, and then all of a sudden your whole grow gets this virus.
Infected,
It's infected by this virus. It's like, oh, what the heck. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't know what happened in between time, because to even find this information, I had to jump around so many bushes and hoops. I can only find it on DuckDuckGo and Twitter, like really the links and stuff. And Burner did do a response to the allegations, because if you guys actually look on my story, I have the lawsuits from the Seed Junkies, their official lawsuit, and then I have Burner's response on there too. You guys can look at them both, come to your own conclusions. But I just wanted to give the information on what's going on, because it does, it does impact a lot of people in the industry. If you ordered from, Seed Junkies and you ended up with the HLV, you could have, it could have happened here in New Mexico, and that could have spread all over the whole state.
Oh yeah.
And so that has, huge implications for everything. But this lawsuit has nothing to do with that. This lawsuit alleges that Cookies was frauding them. They did IP theft and a bunch of other allegations. And if you guys go to my story and check it out, the allegations are all on there and what they say specifically. It's pretty much what I said. They just break it down more. What are your thoughts on this whole thing? I know there's a lot.
It's a lot for sure. One, it kind of shines light on collaborations with the industry in itself. You were always looking for collaborations. We want to know who can we work with, who's going to work best with, and it just kind of brings into the perspective of what business really is. And sometimes someone doesn't do the right thing, and they're both tied into this wrong thing. So it's a very scary time too, because a lot of these entrepreneurs are, like you said, they're trying to come down here to New Mexico and start their own little things within New Mexico, and we don't want any of that here for sure. So it's one, scary to hear. And two, like you're saying, Cookies is on the way down here, and hopefully, I don't quite know how much information on Cookies and stuff like that, but if they are here and they had the Seed Junkies, like, we could have been really hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
really hurt.
Yeah,
so
it could have sucked.
It's pretty scary to see out there, and this isn't the only one that's public. So there's probably a lot of private things that are going on there too. So just kind of shines light on how tough the industry is with collaborations and working together. So.
Yeah, and I want to put it out there. The sea junkies aren't the only one with hop latent virus. You're spreading it. There's several other companies, and it's mostly coming from California. So be very careful if you're ordering seeds online, or especially clones. If you're ordering clones from California, ensure that they're certified. HLV. They don't have it. Blah blah blah. This and that. So that way you don't have to deal with it in the first place. You may pay a little bit more, but it's going to be worth it in the end.
Oh yeah.
It's going to save you potentially millions.
Oh yeah.
In the end. So this is an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing story. I'll try to cover it as much as I can. I don't really know what's going to come from it. Nothing could come from it from all I know. But I do know it was hard as shit to find the information on this. So I have no clue how easy it's going to be going further to find the information. And, if I'm going to have to literally start messaging people to get information on this.
Certain paparazzi outside the courthouse. Hey, what's going on?
I'll let the fly there. What I got to do?
Give me something.
I was like, I need information. So but yeah, if you guys are interested in this, check out my story. All the information on the lawsuit is there. Even burners response. That way, again, you get both sides of the story. And like I said in my Instagram, there's 3 sides to every story. There's the other side, and then the truth. And we're gonna figure that out at some point. So do you have anything on this story left, or?
Not much on this story. Just hoping this doesn't happen to anyone here in New Mexico, and just trying to make sure that everyone is doing it right, so that we can avoid these things. So just keep pushing through.
And be careful with the people you do business with. Well, that's everything I have for this week, guys. It's been a great episode. Thank you again for joining me. It's been great.
Glad you had me. Appreciate it.
And maybe I'll have you again. When you get box 30 or something, it changes up.
Go
you
to
can
our
show
next
us
versions.
exactly. the 2.0 version.
2.0.
Once you do the update.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, guys, thank you again. We'll be back in another episode, and I'll see you then. All right.